Ladies and gentlemen, if we could ask everyone to come underneath the canopy in the first rows for the family. I'm going to ask the gentleman from the cemetery just to level their casket. Please, if everyone would come underneath the canopy. We welcome those of you who are joining us online. We're going to begin the funeral services of Mrs. Mariya Volevich. Officiating is the family members. This time we're going to perform the ancient ceremony of Kriya. For those of you who are here, please be sure that your phones have been turned off. So you're the son, so I'm going to do it for you, so I don't want you to have to, I want you to be taken care of, not you have to take care of. So there are some other people in the desert. People died before our clothes. It was an outward sign of love. When he became Jewish, in the Bible, it says Jacob heard that Joseph died and told him. There were 613 commandments. Most people associate with the Big Ten. The first 5 relate to man, God. The second number 5 says Kedura. Children were to heart, right side. Repeat after me. Eloheinu melech haolam, Dayan, Ha'emet. You're on the right side. Give a little. You're on the left. Give a little. You're on the left. You want the sweater? You go. Okay. Please be seated. You're going to be doing the service, correct? Okay. Yeah. And that is the camera. Okay.
חבאיה בן מהללל אומר, הסתכל בשלושה דברים ואין אתה בא לידי עבירה, דע מאין באת ולאן אתה הולך, ולפני מי אתה עתיד לתת דין וחשבון. מאין באת מטיפה סרוחה, ולאן אתה הולך למקום עפר רימה ותולעה, ולפני מי אתה עתיד לתת דין וחשבון, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. קדיש. יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה דיברה כראותה, וימליך מלכותה ויצמח פרקנה, ויקרב משיחה. בחייכון וביומכון, בחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. אמן ישמע רבה, מברך לעולם לעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקושה בריחו. לעלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ותושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעמלה מעלבה, ואמרו אמן. יש למה רבה מן שמיה בחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ואמרו אמן. אשת חיל. אשת חיל מי ימצא, ורחוק מפנים מקרא, בטח בה לב בעלה, ושלל לא יחסר, גם לטעו טוב ולא רע, בכל ימי חייה, דרשה צמר ופשתה, ותעש בחפץ כפיה, והייתה כאוניות סוחר ממרחק תביא לחמה, ותקם באות לילה, ותיתן טרף לביתה וחוק לנורותיה. זממה שדה ותקחהו, מפרי כפיה נטע כרם, חגרה בעוז מותניה, ותאמת זרועותיה, טעמה כי טוב שכרה, ולא יכבה בלילה נרה, ידיה שלחה בקישור, וכפיה תמכו פלח, כפה פרסה לעני, וידיה שלחה לאביון. לא תירא לביתה משלג, כי כל ביתה לבוש שנים, מרבדים עשתה לה, שש וארגמן לבושה, נודע בשערים בעלה, בשבתו עם זקני ארץ, סדין עשתה ותמכור, וחגור נתנה לכנעני. עוז והדר לבושה, ותשחק ליום אחרון, פיה פתחה בחוכמה, ותורת חסד על לשונה. צופיה אליך ביתה ולחם עצלות לא תאכל, קמו בניה והשרוע בעלה יעללוה. רבות בנות עשו חיל ואת עלית על כולנה. שקר החן והבל היופי, אישה יראת אדוני היא תתהלל. תנו לה מפרי ידיה והיללוה בשערים מעשיה.
Sir.
סורי, ויכל עצור תמין, עכשיו קבורה, כן, הבנתי. Сейчас хоронится. Ой, я шахахте, сейчас надо сказать. Сейчас надо. И они вот спед. Можно сейчас?
So, it's okay, let them just lower, do the chesped, and then they'll stop. As soon as it's in
Да. Сейчас кажется, скажет мне. Сейчас успеет, сейчас дети.
Сейчас после этого дети скажут.
Кто-нибудь переведет? Нет. Ты переведешь, да? С русского, да, с русского на русский. Excuse me, I will speak Russian and Ethan will translate. Я написал что-то, но это, наверное, никуда.
I wrote something, but I'm just going to speak off the cuff.
Мамочка, мы тебя сегодня провожаем.
Mom, today we're going to bury you.
И нет предела нашему горю, нашей скорби.
There's no saying how sad we are.
Мы не знаем, как мы справимся с этим. Мы, наверное, справимся.
We don't know how we're going to warm
Но
with
это
this,
мы
but
здесь.
we'll do it.
А,
Today we're here.
Там, в его высотах,
But there,
все воинство Создателя Вселенной Бога Израиля готовится встретить вот эту душу. Мамочка, такие женщины, как ты, появляются в Израиле один раз на поколение. Такого не бывает.
All troops of Almighty is gonna meet her, and it's not often that such a person will be joined them.
once in a century.
И ты ушла от нас в такое вот особенное время. Оно называется недели утешения, которые наступают после 9 ава, да, страшный дня, когда мы вспоминаем страшные трагедии, весь народ Израиля скорбит.
You left in a special time in the Jewish
Да.
history, когда
После
разрушение храма.
9 ава, да.
Yeah, after 9 of Ava, after destruction of temple.
И ты ушла от нас в день до того, что сегодня вот в Израиле празднуется как День любви.
And tomorrow in Israel we're gonna celebrate Day of Love.
Твоя жизнь это была сплошная любовь. Я не знаю, кто еще мог бы так. Она была у тебя непростая, твоя жизнь.
And your whole life you celebrated love and you gave love. And your life was not easy.
Ты волновалась за пап, за всех нас.
You always were worried about
И
them
за
and us.
внуков. Всегда надо было обязательно позвонить и сказать, что
And
вот
grandkids, you
приехал,
have
даже
to
что
always
уехал.
find out how they doing,
Совсем
and
близко.
you have to really know how they doing and what they doing every day.
И вот так приходит в мир любовь через тебя.
And love come in the world through people like you.
Когда ты всех старался накормить эти тейгалы бесконечные, кто теперь их будет делать?
You always want to feed people, always try to prepare tegel, favorite food for grandkids and kids.
Через твои тейгалы приходит в этот мир любовь.
And through
Through your cooking tegelach, love comes into this world.
И когда ты писала под каждой фотографией нашей семейной группы,
Under every single
Внуков,
photo,
да.
no matter who, whether it be
Да.
your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, you would always send a message, a voice memo.
эти длинные благословения.
Long poems of just praise and how appreciative she was.
И это тоже та вот дорога, по которой в мир приходит любовь.
That's another way that your love was shown in this world.
Мы никогда не сможем дать столько любви, сколько ты дала этому миру.
You will never be able to give as much love to this world as you were able to give.
Своим близким и своим не очень близким людям.
To your close people, but also to those not even that close to you.
И мы... Не хватает слов. Я думаю, что Бог дал мне подарок,
I believe that God gave me a present
который я, разумеется, недостоин. Быть,
that we don't even deserve,
быть твоим сыном,
to be your son
твоим и папой.
and to be your.
В следующем году вы должны были отпраздновать 60 лет вместе.
Next year, you and your husband were going to have 60th anniversary together.
Я никогда в жизни не видел что-нибудь, что было бы больше вместе, чем вы.
I've never seen anyone that would be as together as you two.
Мы тебе обещаем, что мы позаботимся о папе.
We promise you that we'll take care of your husband, our
Что
dad,
он всегда будет чувствовать нашу любовь.
that he'll always feel our love.
Любовь к папе и к тебе, потому что это вообще одно и то же. Это даже смешно говорить о том, что это что-то разное.
Our love to both you and your husband, because for us, they were always together. They were basically one unit.
И мы постараемся, что то, что ты приносила в этот мир, научить, насколько это возможно, наших детей, наших внуков. Этому тоже тебя обещаем.
And we hope to teach our kids and our grandkids the way that you cared yourself in this world and the love you gave everybody.
Очень любим тебя.
We love you very much.
Тень шмата црура, от црура хаим.
Я вытащил лотерейный билет, счастливый, что встретил такую женщину, с которой мы прожили много лет в любви, согласии, благоденствии.
Can we begin to
Мы
describe?
мечтали, что вместе уйдем из этой жизни, а получилось так, что она ушла первой. Но она навсегда будет, я ее любил, всегда люблю и буду любить всегда. Она всегда в моем сердце и по жизни всегда будет рядом со мной.
Переведи.
So I won the jackpot to meet her, and we loved each other so much, and we always thought we're gonna live together this world. But now she left, and I loved her all my heart, all the life.
Я в жизни не встречал такого доброго человека. Она мимо всех никогда не пройдет, чтобы не спросить, как у вас дети, как у вас жизнь. Обязательно, обязательно всех подойдет, всем посочувствует, всем скажет, что будет все лучше. А вот случилось так, что теперь она уходит от меня. Но она всегда будет со мной. Я всю жизнь ее любил и буду любить всегда.
I've never met someone who is so kind. No matter who was ever passing her on the street or anywhere, she would always make sure to stop and say, "How are you?" And make sure she would never pass anybody up the conversation to ask how kids are doing and everything about their life. And
Она чудесная мама.
I've always loved her and will always love her, and she'll always be in my heart.
Она чудесная мама, моя чудесная мне жена. Она
She's a
была
wonderful mom, she's a wonderful wife,
прекрасная дочь своих родителей.
and a wonderful daughter.
И всегда во всем заботилась обо мне так, как никто бы так не позаботился, как обо мне. Когда мне было так плохо, что я уже считал себя на том свете, она вытащила меня.
She would always take care of me like no one else would ever take care of me. Even when I was in the darkest times, when I was, so close to saying I'm just gonna go, she would always just pull me out.
Сколько осталось мне жить, я всегда буду каждую минуту помнить, любить ее.
As long as I live, I'll think of her every single minute and love her every single
Прощай,
minute.
дорогая моя, прощай. Мне
Goodbye,
так
my
не
love.
хватает тебя. Ну,
I just want to say a couple of words. I mean, indeed, her life, her love to her kids and grandkids and now great grandkids, it was so fierce, so deep. She always, it was like a word of matriarch. This is who she was. She wanted to know every single detail of their life. And it was really profound to me. It was really profound to me to see how much she devoted all her feelings, all her life to her family, and then spread this love to the community, which is also it was very interesting and refreshing. She lived in a big building, like with the multicultural people. And yesterday, like so many people would come and they called them mama and papa. And she loved her house, she loved her community. She would tell us about their neighbors, about their kids, and how, she loved them. And in some way, she actually was like example of the love, not to our family, but to spread to the community. The people who just watch them holding the hands. I'm pretty sure it will stuck forever in their mind, and they would want to replicate the same thing in their family. They were example of longevity and love and kindness. It also was interesting to see because she had, she lost her mom at a young age, and then lived through the tough lives, and and now she worried all the time about the kids and like the son who immigrated to Israel and grandkids who went to the army, and all this. She was always worried. And now for the last so many years, she lived in like really happy life. She understood that every, especially after Monia had some health problems, she understood that you have to enjoy every minute of this life, and she truly enjoyed this. Like last years of her life, she lived fully. They traveled to Israel just recently. They would like come in the morning, would kiss the kids, and really enjoyed every life together as a couple. And yeah, it's remarkable. And we were happy to see them, that they were able to buy whatever they want to buy. They decorated the house. She would like wear all this fashionable clothes, and you know, it warmed our hearts to see them this last years enjoy life fully with all their difficulty, but they brought this love and kindness, and we enjoy them together for so it will be hard, I know, but we'll support each other, and mom and dad. So yeah, and I hope, and I know that everybody who is here, their love and kindness and their way of how they live is going to stay with us.
My grandma Maya was a woman unlike any other. There are no words that will truly do justice in encapsulating how extraordinary of a person she was. Her life wasn't easy, living through a war, losing her own mother at a young age, and moving to a foreign country. Yet, her entire life, she was the epitome of grace, kindness, and caring. Grandma Maya cared so deeply for every person who was lucky enough to cross her path. Even in a country where she struggled to learn the language, she befriended neighbors in her building, the people she saw on her daily walks, and countless others. The past few days have been a testament to this, with neighbors my family has never met flooding my grandfather's apartment, filling it with memories of my grandmother. As her granddaughter, I have been so lucky to grow up surrounded by my grandma's unwavering love. For me, Grandma Maya was always a sanctuary where I knew I would be safe. Whenever we talked, be it in person or over the phone, she always knew the right thing to say. My brothers and I would even joke that if you need a self-esteem boost, you call Grandma Maya. She offered endless words of love and support when I needed them, but also never shied away from providing advice when I needed that as well. Thinking back, her wisdom has guided me through many life decisions, whether I was consciously aware of it at that time or not. Few people know this, and I'm really not sure if my grandma even did, but she was the one that was responsible for convincing my husband Colin and I that we should start our family. A few years ago, while I was in the middle of a busy year in residency, I came to Chicago to visit my grandparents. We came over to their apartment where, of course, Grandma Maya had prepared a full spread for us with soup, salad, multiple courses, and of course dessert that she baked. And the conversation turned to family, and she told us how much joy her children and grandchildren brought her. She told us that there was never a perfect time to have a child, and there would always be an excuse in life to keep waiting. Grandma Maya reminded me of the importance of family and not delaying life, things she lived by every single day. Although Grandma Maya loved her children and grandchildren dearly, Her most special relationship was with her husband, my grandpa Monya. They walked hand in hand through life together, quietly supporting each other. My grandpa loved Grandma Maya deeply up until her last day. He bought her flowers weekly for Shabbat, always made sure she had the clothes and jewelry she wanted, and recently even helped her put on her shoes when she no longer could. Their love was something so special and something I wish to emulate in my own marriage. I moved back to Chicago just a few months ago with my family, and it brought me such great joy to see my daughter Eliana get to spend some more time with her great-grandmother. Grandma Maya was so excited to have a great-granddaughter nearby and cherished every time they saw each other. Although when I moved here, I was looking forward to seeing my daughter grow up surrounded by the same love my grandmother showered upon me, my brothers, my cousins. It brings me so much comfort to know that in her last few months, Grandma Maya was able to spend her time with family. Looking at my daughter now, I see reflections of Grandma Maya in her. Her love of flowers, her love of walks by the lake, and her appreciation of beautiful jewelry. Seeing Eliana play with my grandma's necklaces, putting them around her own neck, I know that my grandma's memory will stay alive. During her life, she grew a big, beautiful family, a family she was endlessly proud of. She shared her love and wisdom with all of us, and we will make sure her legacy lives on. I loved my grandma so much and will miss her so much. May her memory be a blessing for all of us.
I would like to say a couple of words, but I'm going to speak Russian, and this young gentleman will be translating. Я соседка. Мы жили в одном здании, но я никогда не думала, что ее уход причинит мне такую боль.
I'm a neighbor. I just lived in the same building, and I never thought that her passing would bring me such hurt and sorrow.
И несмотря на то, что мне тяжело говорить, но когда я увидала, что вы, которых боль неизбывна и несравнима с моей, имели мужество подойти и сказать, я решила, что я должна сказать тоже.
Although I'm not usually prepared to talk and usually like talking, I saw that those who are even have more sorrow than I came up to speak. I decided I wanted to say a couple of words.
Я говорила много раз Моне и Майе, хочу повторить, что они наша достопримечательность. Их знали, любили не только в нашем доме, а их знали, любили вообще в квартале. Люди всегда обращали на них внимание по нескольким причинам. Первая причина... Sorry.
No.
Да-да.
They were not only loved by just their community. I told them many times to Grandma Maya and Grandma Bonia that they're not only loved in their building and by those those loved ones, they're loved by the whole village, by the whole block. Everyone knew who they were.
And I kept saying to them that they are our jewel.
They are the jewel.
And couple reasons for that. Несколько причин. Первая причина. Они всегда ходили вместе и держались за руки.
The first reason is because they would always, we love them for many reasons, but the first reason is because they would always walk and just hold hand in hand.
Еще одна причина, потому что Майя и Моня всегда были одеты с иголочки исключительно, как будто они готовы на прием к английской королеве.
Another reason was because they would always dress top-notch, impeccably, as if they were here to go see the English crown and not just go on a walk.
И еще одна причина. Они оба излучали любовь и доброту. Это нельзя, может быть, передать словами, но это чувствуется.
They would always project only love and kindness, and you can't even describe that love and kindness in words, but you just felt it when you were around them.
Excellent translation, thank you. И я просто хочу сказать, что, опять же, я всегда говорила Майе, глядя на вас, я знаю, что у нас, женщин, которые моложе, но уже достаточно в интересном возрасте, есть будущее.
So like,
I can
Okay.
translate that. I was telling Maya that looking at you, being a woman in interesting age, I know that there is a future for us, so to look forward to. Она всегда была лично для меня, я уверена, что для многих примером и человеком, на которого хотелось равняться, хотелось как бы соответствовать ее уровню.
She was always an inspiration for us, and we always wanted to get to be like her and be at her level.
За все время нашего знакомства я не слыхала от нее никогда ни одного негативного комментария в отношении каких-либо людей или событий, или каких-то явлений. Она всегда находила возможность сделать из лимона лимонад.
As long as I've known her, I've never heard her speak or utter any negative words or feelings towards anyone, and she was always one that was able to make lemonade out of lemons.
Очень часто она мне говорила: Светочка, у меня есть для вас очень хорошая тряпочка, зайдите, пожалуйста, примерить. И я всегда шла, и она всегда подходила.
There's been many times when she would tell me, please, I have this beautiful, red dress for you. Just come in and try it out and see if you like it. And I would always go.
И теперь я буду с еще большим удовольствием носить то, что она мне подарила. И это будет память моя о ней. Моня, повторите.
And now I will wear those dresses with even more meaning and pride, because they will always serve as a memory of her to me.
Моня, я хочу вам сказать из своего собственного опыта. Моего мужа нет уже 21 год. Но я хочу вас уверить, что он никогда не оставил меня. То есть она будет всегда рядом с вами, в другой форме. Вы просто должны это понять, принять и привыкнуть. И тогда вы услышите ее и увидите ее в каждом знаке. Но это надо, чтобы время прошло немножко. Будьте здоровы, будьте очень сильны. Для нее она бы этого хотела.
She told my grandpa, said that out of personal experience, her husband died 20 years ago, and that she can say that they never really leave. They're always there with you in a different form, but no matter where you look or where you, who you turn to, you always see her there, and that she wants him to know that it will take time, but she'll always be in our hearts.
Мы плачем о ней из эгоизма, но, с другой стороны, она ушла такой легкой смертью, которую я бы пожелала себе. И пожелала бы своим близким, которые уходили очень тяжело. И по еврейской традиции смерть — это праздник, это начало, конец физического существования, это начало нового, чего-то нового, большого, вечного. Мы возвращаемся домой в этот день. И я пожелать хочу ей легкого пути, вам сил и мужества и здоровья.
I am Ellen Rosen-Kaplan, and I felt moved to speak. We met Anna when our kids were about 25 years ago in Joanne's class, who's here, when Anna was a preschool teacher. And one day I said, Anna, do you know anybody who might help me with my son, who's 6 months? She said, my mother. So I interviewed Maya. Maya, I'm going to tell a story that you always joked about. I interviewed Maya to see if she'd be appropriate for babysitting. I asked some questions. Maya, what would you do if the baby started to cry? She told me many different things. Later, she said, Ellen, I wanted to say I would let him cry. You know, she's being silly. She teased. She had the most amazing sense of humor. We were so fortunate to have Maya and Monia be part of our family for so many years beyond when the kids needed them. They had an incredible impact. Part of the fabric of our family has been woven by their influence. Everything about them has impacted us in ways that everybody spoke about. I felt like we were the luckiest people to have friends and adoptive grandparents and just remarkable people to be a part of the village that raised our kids. And there is no question that my children and my grandchildren and all of us, my relationship with my husband, have been impacted in ways that everybody talked about to this day. I have so much appreciation and gratitude, Maya, for so many things that you taught us, and Monia, so many ways. And I wish, I know that your memory, just a testament from everything, will be a blessing for all of us. And I just want to thank you. Love you so much. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shade. My papa and my mama. I just got to know their name when I met their daughter on the day she passed. My mama and my papa, like I always call them in the building, they are epitome of grace and beauty. They are very beautiful people. Sometimes when they are walking and they are far away from me and I couldn't like shout their name or scream, I just slow down and look at them. They're always holding hands. And I always said to myself, God, what a beautiful life. What a life of love. Every morning, I think they have like a time schedule whereby they have to go for walk in the morning, mid-morning, afternoon, all the time. And Mama was always fully dressed. Sometimes I say, Mama, where are you going? She said, I'm going for a walk. And I marveled at her. I said, you going for a walk? The shoe matches the jewelry and the earring. And the shoes are always clean, different shoes. Sometimes I wonder what kind of closet she has. In that age, wow, it's a blessing to know Papa, and it's a blessing to have come across Mama. When I heard about the passing, I had to take consolation in the fact that the longest road has a turning. And the longest journey has an end. Every one of us here is a different time we all got to live. So I just had to console myself like that. So Papa, we love you so much. The whole village loves you so much. And I pray that you live long to be 100 years old so we can have more of you around. Amen? Amen. So please, I want everybody for my mama, for a life well lived and well spent. Let us give her a round of applause. Please clap for my mama. She lived a good life. She lived a very beautiful life. She lived a very beautiful life. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we're going to ask the gentleman from the cemetery to place the cover of the vault. After that, you can come forward and place some earth into the grave. The tradition is to place 3 measures of earth without handing the shovel from person to person. The family will be together at the Volevich residence at 4550 North Clarendon Avenue, Unit 1007 in Chicago. They'll be together following the service today and Tuesday from 12 to 4 p.m. Memorial contributions to the Angelman Syndrome Foundation or the FIDF, Friends of Israeli Defense Forces. That information is on the service folder that you received upon coming to the cemetery. And for those of you who are online, all that information is on the website. There'll be just one more prayer, and then we'll ask everyone to come forward to place earth or your flowers into the grave. If you have not taken a moment to sign the registry, please do so now, because we are going to take the book down momentarily.
צור תמים פועלו, כי כל דרכיו משפט, אל אמונה ואין עוול צדיק וישר הוא. עצור תמים בכל מעשה, מי יאמר לו מה תעשה, ואומר ועושה חסד חינם לנו תעשה. ובזכות הנעקת כסה, הקשיבה ועשה, צדיק בכל דרכיו עצור תמים, ערך אפיים ומלא רחמים. חמל נא וחוס נא על אבות ועל בנים, כי לך אדון הסליחות והרחמים. צדיק אתה אדוני, להמית ולהחיות, אשר בידיך פיקדון כל רוחות. חלילה לך זכרוננו למחות, ויהנה עיניך ברחמים עלינו כוחות. כי לך אדון הרחמים והסליחות, אדם אם בן שנה יחיה, או 1000 שנים יחיה, מה יתרון לו? כלא היה ולא יהיה. ברוך דיין האמת, ממית ומחיה. ברוך הוא כי אם אמת דינו ומשוטט, הכל בעינו. משלם לאדם חשבונו ודינו, והכל לשמו, הודיה יתנו. וידענו אדוני כי צדק משפטיך, תצדק בדרכיך ותזכה במשפטיך. אין לערער אחר מידת שפתיך. צדיק אתה אדוני וישר משפטיך. דיין האמת, שופט צדק ואמת. ברוך דיין האמת, כי כל משפטיו צדק ואמת. נפש כל חי בידיך, צדק מלא ימיניך וידיך. רחם על פליטת צאן ידיך, ותאמר למלאך ערף ידיך. Это פסלם דוד. מכתם לדוד, שמרני אל כי חסיתי בך. אמרת לאדוני, אדוני אתה, טובתי בל עליך. לקדושים אשר בארץ עמה, אדירי כל חפצי בם. ירבו עצמותם אחר מהירו, בל יעשיך נזקיהם מדם, ובל אשא את שמותם על שפתי. אדוני, מנת חלקי וכוסי אתה, תומך גורלי. חבלים נפלו בנעימים, אף נחלת שרפת עלי. אברך את אדוני אשר יעצני אף לילות יסרוני כלותי. שיביתי אדוני לנגדי תמיד, כי מימיני בעל אמות. לכן שמח ליבי ויגאל כבודי, אף בשרי ישכן לי בטח. כי לא תעזוב נפשי לשאול, ולא תיתן חסדיך לראות שחר. ודיעני אורח חיים שבע שמחות את פניך, נעימות בימיניך נצח.
come forward. You have two lines on either side. Please come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to do the earth, please come forward.
Идете? Будете сыпать? Я боюсь, чтобы я не упала. Садитесь тут рядом.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment, after everyone has an opportunity to place earth into the grave, we're going to close the grave and then have a few concluding prayers. Then we'll form a shura, a double aisleway for the immediate mourners to pass through. So at that time you may give them traditional words of consolation you can find on the back of the service folder to begin with Hamakom Yerachem, or you may offer any other words you want to give from your heart.